Hey, how you doing?
For the Hospopreneurs Podcast, we're here tonight at Covent Garden, West End for the Brewstillery Mixmasters Cocktail Competition, brought to you by Stone & Wood and Brookies Gin.
After you, mate, after you. So we're in here today.
Let's have a chat to some of the competitors. With me now is Joe Stedman from Cobbler.
Funnily enough, most people when they hear Stone & Wood, they think of Pacific Ale. I first got onto Jasper Ale. It was the first Stone & Wood I had and the first one I fell in love with. And then I started going to other core range. So I always wanted to use Jasper Ale in some way. Then when I thought about the Negroni idea, using it as an Amaro, it just works so perfectly with that, the bitterness that it has, the earthiness, the really silky texture, mouthfeel. It just worked really well. And then just with Brookies Dry, I just wanted, again, it's Negroni, something simple that's still got the citrus, beautiful, easy going, but not going to infuse too much flavour into it like the slow gin does.
You paired your cocktail with a piece of cake. Can you tell us about that?
When I was a kid, we would go on Sunday drives. Mum and Dad, my brother and I would go out, we'd have cake and tea, and I just wanted this drink to just be a homely drink. So not really one that you go to a pub and get really drunk on. It's one that you take with you, maybe have one or two, have a bit of cake and spend time with family and friends, especially in spring. I called it Spring and Sprung.
Thanks very much for talking with us. Best of luck with the judges.
Thank you, mate. Thanks so much.
I thought I'd take inspiration in the same way as Stone & Wood does, and as does Brookies here, from their backyard, from mine. So in the backyard at my house, growing up, at 68 Nick Street, had a macadamia tree and chickens. There's no chicken in this drink, just to be clear, while it's not vegan.
With me now is Timo Van Hest from Savile Row, our second competitor out of 3 so far from Savile Row. How do you feel after your performance?
Feeling good, yeah. I feel like I touched on all the things I wanted to, and pretty confident with how the drink tasted. So I just hope everyone enjoyed it as much as I did.
That's good. So it's all about native ingredients here. What were the native ingredients you included in your cocktail?
A couple of the ones that I included, and most directly, were macadamia and wattle seed. Macadamia being quite light, creamy, nutty, obviously, inherently, and wattle seed having a nice cacao, coffee, kind of chocolatey bitterness to it. So they kind of worked really well hand in hand in 2 separate ingredients to lift out some of the botanicals in Brookies, and to play off the bitterness of the Jasper Ale that Stone & Wood does.
As I mentioned, you're our second competitor so far from Savile Row. Has there been a bit of in-house rivalry leading up to this competition?
No, absolutely not. No, it's been actually a lot of fun, like workshopping things together and playing ideas of each other and testing each other's drinks. And
very good. So helping each other out rather than being competitive. I like it.
Absolutely, yeah.
Well, Timo, thank you very much, and best of luck with the judges. Speaking of judges, tonight we have 3 absolute legends. Eddie Brooke, the co-founder of Brookies Gin, Chris Clark from Stone & Wood, and our very own James Henderson, host here at the Hospopreneurs Podcast. In the end, the crown went to Covent Garden's own AB, Alex Brown. Here he is talking us through his drink, Bee and the Bear.
And it's about foraging, community, pioneering and locally sourced ingredients. So I essentially made a passion fruit sour. I used Stone & Wood wattle reduction. I used a macadamia honey and passion fruit puree to create that in line with the Brookies gin as well. So essentially a passion fruit and honey sour.
From James and myself, Gus, from the Hospopreneurs Podcast, a big thank you to Stone & Wood, Brookies Gin and Covent Garden West End for having us involved.
The bee and the bear, the bee which creates life that pollinates, and the bear that forages and gathers everything together. Thanks a lot, guys.